Every year around Christmas time, LEGO comes out with some amazing advent calendars, but tragically they've never come out with a LEGO Ninjago advent calendar, which I have been wanting for years now. And until LEGO makes a Ninjago advent calendar, I am going to. So here's my 2023 LEGO Ninjago Advent Calendar Edition. Let's get into it. For day one, we need the necessity to every advent calendar, and that of course is Santa Claus. In Dragon's Rising, Lloyd takes on the new role as Sensei, and I figured he would be a great Santa Claus. I started with his green Dragon's Rising cloak, gave him a golden harness, a big white beard, and the classic Santa Claus hat. Then stuck in 2 red ninja swords to contrast the red hat, gave him an oversized candy cane to get him sugared up, and a bag full of free LEGO sets for everyone. I'm super glad with how this Santa Claus Lloyd turned out. Now there have been a load of Destiny's bounties throughout the years, and recently with the release of Dragon's Rising LEGO, we got another fantastic Destiny's bounty. But for our advent calendar, I'm going to shrink this Destiny's bounty way down. The 2 main things you want to get right when building a miniature model is the colors and the shape right. Once I was done with the miniature Destiny's bounty, I think it looks pretty good. The sails near the front, the engine's on the back, and you have a small room with a roof on the back too. Now we can set it beside Santa Claus Lloyd and move on. For day 3, I built up Rapton, one of the Claus of Imperium's most deadly generals. Rapton is a pretty dope minifigure and has loads of detail on his body, but we are going to make him even better. First things first, I ripped off his white hair and put on the Nutcracker hair and hat piece. For his accessory, I gave him the high-end, fancy-looking sword. Finally, what would a Nutcracker be without a nut? And yes, because Rapton has a totally metal jaw, he can break it. Though I may be wearing shorts right now, in the wintertime it does get very cold, and in order to help the ninjas stay warm, I'm going to make them a nice fireplace. I built it up using a lot of light gray bricks, making room for a mantle and a place to stick the wreath, finally topping it off with a chimney. On the mantle I added miniature Jay and coal, then I made a dark green wreath and got a lighter and lit the fire. Now Rapton and Lloyd can gather around the fire and stay warm. For our next miniature build, we've got Zays Car. For starters, I got 1 wheel and 3 more wheels and made up a little car. I added a white and blue frame. Now that we have Zane's car, we just have to make it spin. So I added a dome piece to the bottom of it. And now this car knows spinjitzu too. For day 6, I want to make a snowman. In Zane's car set, it comes with a small Imperium robot that you can use as target practice and not over. But I wanted to get this robot and turn it into Snowman. I built up a small snowman using the Snowman headpiece from last year's minifigure series and some golden sides. Then I attached this transparent blue dome piece to the bottom. Now we can get our Zane's car from yesterday and see if it can knock this snowman over. Well, I'd say it worked good enough. For day 7, I wanted to make one of the newest members of the team, Aaron. And Aaron loves baking pies in this show, and I figured I'd give him his pie delivery suit. I gave him some red pants and a Monkey Kid shirt, and of course since he's delivering these pies, he needs a quick way to get across Ninjago. And then I made a big slope for him to ride down on his snowboard. One of the best parts about Christmas is the food that you get, and I wanted to make a giant table covered with food. I built a brown wall going up, then I tipped it over on top of 4 buckets, added 3 candles, glass goblets, and a bunch of Christmas pudding. And now we can add Aaron, Lloyd, and Rapton. Okay, they literally ate the whole entire table. Now last year I was being a Grinch and didn't add Jay, and I got a whole lot of comments explaining to me where I went wrong. So this year, I added Jay. I built up a normal looking Jay minifigure, then ripped his arms off and gave him a transparent yellow one, and gave him a strand of lights that he's powering up to decorate the monastery with. One of the cutest characters from Ninjago is Baby Rayu, but in the winter months it can get kind of cold for him. So I gave Aaron a hammer, and now he can build Rayu a small dragon house. Once Aaron had finished, he had a cute dragon house for Rayu, his favorite carrot, and some water to drink. This is definitely Rayu's favorite Christmas present. For our third miniature build, I'm going to make the Temple of the Dragoncorpe. In order to make this miniature, I'm going to have to use a lot of tiny detail pieces. I used mainly red. I even used a red hot dog for the bridge going out to the balcony on the tree. A side-by-side view of the actual one compared to the miniature one, I think it looks pretty good, and now we can add it to our advent calendar collection. For day 12, I wanted to make coal. And no, he's not opening a present with coal inside. He's not mining for coal. He's not doing anything related to coal. He's Christmas caroling. I switched out the head and gave him a head that made him look like he was singing. I gave him a top hat, gave him a hymn book, and now he can go about spreading cheer with his Christmas carols. I mean, look at that. He almost got Rapton to smile. For day 13, we have yet another miniature build, and this is the Heatwave Dragon. The main color scheme I used here was dark red with an underbelly of light nougat, and for the legs, I used these rounded tiles with gold clips on the end. Now this miniature Heatwave Dragon is almost as cute as Rayu. For day 14, I'm going to build Sora, another new member of the Ninja team. I gave her her original body, a backpack to hold some of her tools in, and she just got done making this sweet hover snowboard. So I gave her a wrench, a toolbox. Now it's time to see if she can beat Aaron down the slope.
Go. So, the winner.
Now every Christmas party needs a Christmas tree, but I don't want to make a generic Christmas tree. I want to make a cherry tree Christmas tree. I basically used a classic way to make a Christmas tree, but instead of green, I used white slopes. Once I was done, I added pink flowers all over it, and then Zane threw one of his shurikens on top for the star. Now Lloyd can set all his free Lego sets under it in preparation for Christmas. For day 16, I'm going to make the Mistletoe Imperium guard. You heard me. I got that Imperium guard with a wacko frying pan hat and gave him a harness with 4 different clips on it. On each of those clips, I added mistletoe and gave him 2 deadly mistletoe claws. Now this cursed mistletoe warrior can run around the place causing havoc. But thankfully, Jay was able to tie him up with his string of lights. And then unfortunately, Mia came along. For day 17, we have once again another miniature build, and this time it's Lloyds Mech from Dragon's Rising. I love that they used a dark green color scheme for a mech. I started by building the massive sandals. For the legs, I used these big gun pieces they used in Chima, and surrounded them with dark green ink pots. I also gave him those 2 burnt orange flag pieces he has for his shoulders. I used another gun piece with a gold clip on the end for his arms, and finally topped it off with a gold Sensei Wu hat. And Lloyd's mech was complete. Sadly, I wasn't able to add Aaron's mech to combine with this like it does in this show, but I still think this is a solid miniature build for a mech. Now, since it's Christmas time, Zane is feeling warm in his heart, and he wants to spread the warmth. So I made Zane, gave him his smiley face, gave him a cozy winter hat, and this massive hot chocolate dispensing backpack. I gave him 2 cups of hot chocolate and 1 on his backpack, and now Zane can spread his warmth to the rest of Ninjago by giving them free hot chocolate, with of course a tip of $100. It's only 6 days until Christmas, and Santa Claus Lloyd is in desperate need of a ride. When I say ride, I mean a sleigh. This sleigh is fitted with gold ninja sword runners, sleek red designs, a top-of-the-line engine, wow, and a silky smooth chair for Lloyd to sit in.
Yes, sir.
And of course, baby Rayu will be guiding Lloyd's sleigh tonight. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever done anything stupid in your life.
Woo! Alrighty, we're gonna run to the end there, barefoot in the snow. Let's go. Oh.
Believe it or not, but running in the snow hurts more than stepping on a Lego piece. And Kai, the elemental master of fire, is going to be running in the snow. I got Dragon's Rising Kai and gave him some red shorts to make it look like he just took his shoes off. I also gave him a bit more of a surprised face, and now we can see if Kai can run in the snow as long as we did. Now, one of my favorite Dragon's Rising set was the Lightning Dragon, and I want to make it miniature. I tried to make the proportions right. I gave it 2 legs, a tail, 2 wings, a neck, and a head. It looks very similar to the actual set, and you can even sit Jay on top of it and fly away. Okay, and now I have to rebuild it. For day 22, I have to do some last-minute Christmas shopping.
I guess I'm building it. The last miniature Dragons Rising set that we need is Sora's Mech. This is such a cool mech from the show, and to design it, I used dark blue, white, and coral pink. For the arms, I used skeleton arms because this mech is not very long. Transform it into a motorcycle. We can line it up with the rest of the miniature Dragons Rising sets, and man, this lineup looks great.
Woo! It's day 23, the snow is coming down hard, one day till Christmas Eve, and we have to build our last ninja here, Nia. I gave her a winter cap and big snowshoes. Now, snowblowers are like mowers for snow, kind of awkward. We're actually going to make this a reindeer-themed snowblower. So now let's see if Nia can snowblow this whole entire sidewalk away. Wow, that was like a total of 5 seconds. Merry Christmas, guys. It's day 24, Christmas Eve, and for this final build, we are going to make the ultimate Ninjago set miniaturized, and that is Ninjago City Markets. This is Ninjago's biggest Lego set, and I'm going to shrink it down. This is definitely my hardest miniature build I've ever had to do. For the bridge, I used a red hot dog. For the red poles, I used red candlesticks. I even used brown skeleton legs. The monorail going through the center of the city was extremely hard to fit in. I added a tiny peach tree on the top and was even able to fit in the Borg store. There's so many tiny details to this city. So now we have a full 24-day advent calendar and it looks fantastic. Ninjago's awesome, but let's not forget the real reason we celebrate Christmas, and that's because Jesus was born into this world and died on the cross for yours and for my sins. It's the greatest gift in the world.
I tell you the truth, those who listen to my message and believe in God who sent me have eternal life. They will never be condemned for their sins, but they have already passed from death into life.
Trust who Jesus is and what he did for you. God loves you more than anyone in the world. Merry Christmas. Peace out.
Subscribe.